let's talk about a few terms, a lot of terms, starting off here in our little geometry section. Geometry, studying shapes, mainly will not tackle any proofs or anything like that. So we're just really focusing ultimately on area and volume and things like that. But before we get to that, there are some terms that I did want to talk about with you. And starting off with, let's just call it parts of a line, because believe it or not, we'll actually tie this into something we talked about with sets. We'll get to that in just a second, though. Yeah, talking about parts of a line. If I have a line extends infinitely in two directions, and typically, you got points we could label A, B, C, D, E along the way there. Well, we can divide up the line several ways. One way we can do it is with a so-called ray. And a ray usually is designated with 2 points on the ray there. Talk about that. Ray AB. Let's talk about ray AB. Ray AB here, if we're talking about this line here, ray AB would start at A and then go in the direction of B. So here's A, and so ray AB starts at A and then goes in the direction of B. So that's ray AB right there. So notice I left off the part to the left here of A. That's a ray. A ray is kind of a one-sided deal. It goes one way. Now, for obvious reasons, name notation-wise, instead of having to write this all out, we could just say AB and then put a little ray symbol on top of it, like that. Okay, so it's, for obvious reasons, notation, that's what it looks like. Now let me ask you this. Would ray BA be the same thing? Is that the same thing? It's not the same thing, is it? Because this says start where? Start at B and go in the A direction. So that would start at B, here's B, and then go in A direction. So this one, ray BA, is that. So it's just kind of, it's not exactly the opposite of that, but it's going the opposite direction of that, you see. Okay? Now what about, using this same configuration here, what about ray AC? Is that different than these? Actually, it's the same as one of these, isn't it? Ray AC would start at A and go towards C there. But isn't that the very same thing as ray AB? Because here's C, C's along that line, and B is included in that. Yeah, they're the same ray. So there are different names for the same ray. Really, it just, it depends on your starting point. Okay, so that's a ray.
It doesn't stop.
No, it doesn't stop. It just keeps going infinitely in that direction. So we're saying AC starts here and it includes B, C, and keeps going. Yeah. We'll talk about the one that just starts and stops at points, but We'll get to that. Similar to the ray is the half line. There's only one little distinction between a ray and a half line. Half line AB same thing, starts at A, goes in the direction of B. The distinction is on a half line, the endpoint actually is not included. And so to designate that, we usually leave an open circle on that starting point there. So this is half line AB. The notation is similar. That means half line AB. So what about half line BA? Same thing as ray BA, right? If I did half line BA, well, that would start at B and go in the direction of A. So that would be this, wouldn't it? Same thing, just leaves it open there. Okay? Now, the other part, then I'll get to the little problems I like on this, but the other part of the number line is the line segment. And on the line segment, that's the one where it starts and stops. These start, but they don't stop. They just keep going one way. We see this notation here, or it could just be instead. A lot of times you won't see the little dots on it. Just a bar like that. That designates what's a line segment. And line segment AB starts at A, stops at B. It doesn't keep going. It just starts and it stops. Okay? Now what if I reverse that? What's line segment BA? Same thing, isn't it? Okay. In this case, since I start and stop, line segment BA would be the same thing as line segment AB. Yeah. Okay? Now, the distinction, you might see this. Which obviously is not line segment there. Yeah, that's your designation of a line. That's line AB. And so that means the entire line starting at, not starting, but going through A and going through B, but it's the entire line, both ways. So if you have the double arrows, it means the entire line. It includes all the points of that. Okay, so here's the little problems I like on these. Like I said, this is going to use a little bit of previous knowledge from sets that we talked about. Determine the part of the line given by the following. Number one, we're going to take ray AC and ray CA, and we're going to do that. What does that symbol mean? Remember? We had that one, or the U symbol. This one is the intersect, right? Intersect. And you remember what intersection means? Intersection is what they have in common, right? So I want to figure out what ray AC has in common with ray CA. And of course I'm talking about, I am talking about the line. I may get a D involved along the way, so your alphabetical order, A, B, C, D, line. Typical ordering there. Okay. Well, one way you can see is kind of draw it out. Ray AC, that would be starting at A and goes direction of C. So that would include B, C, D. It just starts at A and it goes that way. CA starts at C and goes in A direction. So that would go this way. So that would include B and A. So what's the intersection of those two? The overlap. What they have in common. Yeah, they all, since A includes, ray AC includes A, includes B, includes C, and all these points in between, CA starts at C and go, doesn't it include all these points as well until we get here? Isn't this and this common between the two? What is that? It's everything from C to A or A to C. Isn't that segment AC? Yeah. Segment AC. Segment AC is common ground for those two.
So it's just a different way of writing a subset?
Is it like writing a subset? Yes. Sort of like that. Okay? All right. How about number 2? Segment AC union half line BD. Okay, well, let's just review here a little union symbol. Union means what? Put both of them, everything together. Yeah. Put everything in both sets together. So I'm going to take everything in set segment AC, which is A, B, C, combine that with everything in half line, starts at B, D. C, D, all those. Right, B is not. In the half line, B is not included. That's true. But isn't B included here? So when I put the two sets together, I've got AC, and then I've got half line BD. Put those two things together. Won't I get this? Because they don't have to overlap. Doesn't have to be in the overlap to be in it. It's everything starts at A and goes this way. What is that one called? Wouldn't that be ray AC or AB, something like that? Because, yeah, B is not here, but it's in this one, so it's in the union of the two, you see. As long as it's in one of the sets, it's in the union. So this little part is not in this part, but it's in this part, right? So it's in the union. Union is just has to be in one of the sets to be included. It can be in both of the sets, but so that's ray AC. Okay. Could call it that. Ray AD. Wouldn't that be the same thing? Start at A and go in the direction of D. Yep, that'd be the same thing. Could call it ray AB for that matter. So you would not be incorrect if you said that. All right, number 3. Number 3, we're going to call AC segment union segment DB. AC union DB segments, both segments. So I'm going to take everything in A to C segment-wise and union that with D to B. So union means put both of those together. So I take AC, combine it with DB. Wouldn't that give me this to this? What is that? Everything there? Segment AD, isn't it? With me on that? Okay, let me give you one more. Just to. All right, what would I get if I had AB intersect CD ray? Segment AB intersect the ray CD. Back to intersection. A to B segment is just this, right? Ray CD starts at C and goes in the direction of D. Intersections, what they have in common. What do those have in common? Anything? Nothing. Nothing in common. Remember what we called that? The empty set. Yeah. Yeah, if they don't have anything in common, the intersection is the empty set. So anyway, nothing else reminds us of intersection and unions. Thing we talked about a few days back. Okay? Question or concern on that?